Desalle is coming back, baby. We forgot a few comments on YouTube, but we'll get it in the next episode. Don't worry, guys. Enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome to the Hunt Banish Extract podcast, the podcast that will blow your back out harder than a date that brought you to Dollar Margarita night at Applebee's. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ, and with me are four of my beautiful co-hosts today, Sleepy Weasel, aka Tyler.
Try saying that 3 times faster.
Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
I'm back from my vacation.
Your punishment.
So,
El Maestro, aka Colin.
Hello.
And the patron saint of 3 stars, aka Rat329.
Speaking of, who's going with me to Applebee's?
Well, if you're buying.
You can't afford
do you
me.
want to go
Yeah.
make some more macaroni art at Applebee's this time?
Yeah.
Some real macaroni.
You know, then we'll
art,
actually have some food.
Yeah.
Being real with y'all, actually, Applebee's is kind of awful food. The one time I ate there, it wasn't that great. But
I haven't eaten there much, so.
all right, gentlemen, what have we been running in the bayou?
You know what I've been taking, DJ.
Oh, I know.
You can't take shotguns anymore, apparently. So you just gotta use small ammo to get them headshots. That's all I can take. Usually full metal though, because full metal's fun. Anything
We
with
did
full
all
metal,
right.
small ammo. Yeah, we did all right, but couldn't do all right with a shotgun though. At least not me.
No.
I kept getting screwed out of my kills for some reason.
So what were the guns specifically, Ty?
Just the marathon and the
Oh.
normal Winfields. Those are just such good basic guns. I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't gotten good with those guns, you really should try because they are so good. They're very balanced.
All right, boys, what are we taking?
Usually
Yeah.
a bullet to the face.
Yeah, seriously.
Same, actually. but when you aren't eating bullets, what are you taking?
No, lately I've been running the double chew canoe with explosive and having an absolute blast still. Like that
You
thing
and
is
Rat.
not done.
You and Rat, man.
Well,
Hey man,
when
I
it's
haven't
not
been
that, I'll
running
take.
that.
Yeah, you've been running the bows with frag grenades.
A little different. Well, if I'm not taking double chew canoe, it's usually a chew canoe quartermaster and then a nitro. You know, the works.
You just really hate yourself.
No, I love.
But you're having
myself.
fun. That's why you're treating yourself
No,
right.
that
so.
double chew canoe is a KD farmer for me. Funny enough,
That's so funny.
I've gotten my KD up at least 4 points
Oh my
minimum,
God.
maybe more. It just keeps climbing.
That's great. We'll keep doing it then.
The skill
Man,
keeps increasing. What's
The,
up,
the
Rat?
last few nights I've just been running bomb lance with the
Ooh.
Obrez mace. Dude,
Fun,
yesterday
wow.
I don't think I had a single game that I was under 3 kills.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
anything mixed with the bomb lance is fun though. Like that's such a good. Was it harpoon or like sticky?
I always run half harpoon, half sticky.
Nice. Yeah, I
Because
love
that way I've
the-
got close range and I just can't seem to get the drop figured out for the regular ammo. So I use that for the meatheads.
I more use the sticky to like blow off doors and stuff.
That
That's
is
why I like to
also
use
part of
those,
what I
so-
use it for. And
Yeah.
I think yesterday some of my teammates were about to have an aneurysm watching me just sprint into rooms and kill like 2 or 3 people.
That's
Damn.
awesome.
Well, that's what my penny shot derringers for, but Ty. But yeah, still
Yeah.
viable, I suppose. All right, Colin, what are you taking?
You know me.
Your haymaker.
I use my haymaker and some other medium slot gun. Lately, it's been the Springfield again. I've been getting back into the Springfield.
All right.
Good
Just
choice.
because it's a fantastic gun, just all
It
around.
just feels so good to shoot that thing.
Yeah, especially with
Mhm.
fast fingers. I've been doing the Sparks and the Springfield again with fast fingers, and it's been so good.
Yeah, fast fingers is a godsend. That's if there was anything that needed to be added to the game, it was definitely fast fingers.
If you want to have a
Absolutely.
lot of fun, run the explosive ammo on the Springfield with fast fingers.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Or-
my gosh.
Slowly kill people
Or-
in cover.
Or the martini, to be fair. And the martini I have a lot more fun with.
I
So
keep
they
forgetting the
actually-
martini exists.
Yeah, I was gonna say they actually incorporated fast fingers for the martini now, right?
They
Yeah.
sure did.
Because
And
when they
it's been
first
on the
added it, it
Maynard.
wasn't there. So
Yeah, it's been on the Maynard, but the Maynard is so rarely taken anyway that I think most people, especially when the bleed disappeared, I almost never see people take it unless it is
Yeah.
for a very specific sniping situation. So,
yeah,
it's interesting.
yeah. As soon as they
Yeah.
took away the bleed, they were like, people were like, "Yeah, I don't want to use this anymore."
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah.
Calm down there, Andy.
But I have been taking, I know, hold your nuts, Richard. I've been taking the Chukanu.
Oh,
Because
okay. I'm holding.
Well, Junior got me to use it. Gobstopper in our server. He's a good lad. And he got me to take the incendiary arrows on the Chukanu. And I actually, unironically, think it might be better than I thought. I
Mhm.
really think that Chukanu deserves a little bit more credit because
Absolutely.
it is when the RNG is bad, it's bad, but when it's good, it's great. And I got quite a few nasty kills with that fucking thing. Like, it is a lot of fun, and especially if you're trying not to take the game, too seriously, take like overly sweaty loadouts, take fun loadouts, take Chukanu, take bow with unconventional arrows, take all concertina, and just make someone have a bad time. But I've also been taking, I took Marathon a few times, which was actually a bit of a shakeup for me because that isn't typically a gun I run anymore. But I enjoyed what I had with it because it's really quick on the hip fire and it's really, really solid with the sights still, even though they're not like ideal sights. They're a bit wide, and I was taking like just kind of more standard loadouts that I'd usually take. Like I've been taking Springfield, I've been taking anything but long ammo. Really, I did run Berthier for a bit, which was fun, but I got way more into trying Centennial out again. I haven't tried Vetterly again for a while, even though it's usually one of my boredom builds, but
It's because it's useless. But no, I'm just kidding.
it's not useless. It's
Jeez.
absolutely one of my most fun that I run, especially the
Centennial is
Cyclone.
just better. Centennial is just better.
Not without the bleed, I think, in my opinion. But it's a solid fucking rifle. And I've been running a lot more Pax True Shot. And
Yes.
I've been getting...
Oh, yeah. Your classic.
Absolutely. And I've been running... I ran hand crossbow a few times and had really bad luck. But then I also ran the fucking... what is it? The Scottfield again, which I haven't been taking lately, and I've been actually clicking heads with that thing. I love that little pistol.
The Spitfire variant's definitely the way to go for that one, in my opinion.
I agree. I have done nothing but try to be a cheapskate, so I don't even spend the extra 40 fucking hunt dollars for the Spitfire or whatever the fuck it is. I'm going full cheapskate, man. Trying to become that hunt millionaire,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would never have the chance for that because I still have to prestige.
Well,
just
I
saying.
run nitros every so often, so that's going to be completely impossible for me, even if I didn't prestige.
Unless you win the lottery and just keep winning over and over again like you've been doing.
It's really funny because like people will be like, I can't take the nitro because like it sucks with the sight and this and that, and then I'll just be like, you know what, let me show you how it's done, and then like the first hunter I see, I'll like shoot and blast through the wall.
Let me show you how we do it.
Well, it doesn't help that you play it like it's a fucking shotgun.
Because it is a shotgun. You can't
Basically.
see shit, so it has
Well,
no
they-
range anymore either.
Yeah, it's not a sniper anymore because it's a 45-meter range weapon now for some godforsaken reason. 45 meters. Think the Hunt dev team
Hey,
needs to hear this.
You're,
They need to
telling
listen.
me
They need
you're
to listen
telling
to
me
this
you're gonna
very
get into
clearly.
a fight and not get within 45 meters of that elephant?
Well, it's like think of it this way: a sniper at 45 meters with a sniper scope. How does that make sense? It doesn't. Give it its range back at least. Come on, guys. Like that gun needs some love.
Were the original like elephant guns like meant for more range and whatnot? Because I know they're built like rifles and whatnot.
They were made to output as much power as humanly possible.
So absolutely, yeah. We're talking hundreds of meters at least.
But like, even if we're talking about like video game logic, like it was made as a sniper in a game, but it only has a 45-meter range. The poor uppercut has much higher range on it, even though they keep debuffing that thing.
The body
Like-
shot is like if you get a full-on body shot, they're dead. Like I think that was obviously this is the game balancing is what they were thinking, but whatever.
You know, they need to make it a sniper again because it is a sniper, and I think it's just ridiculous. People
And
don't
if they're not gonna
take the
make
gun
it,
anyways because
and
it
if
was
they're
so
not gonna make
expensive.
it a sniper, at the very least, fucking let us toggle the aperture.
Yeah,
I think it might be too powerful if you don't toggle
Yeah,
the aperture.
if they took that
That's
off, I
the
think
only
people
thing I would say.
would.
But I
would,
mean, I totally think that would be cool though.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
It'd be cool for us, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. But we did get a teaser today, literally today, and we've got what looks to be a Desalle teaser because on the wanted poster, on the bottom of the wanted poster, because it's supposed to be like this character that's involved with Dr. Huff Jones, kind of like Monroe. So it might lean more into the Monroe lore and the whole torturing of the prisoners and stuff.
hmm
He's apparently let loose. And so now
And his skin looks fucking dope from what I can tell.
it looks extremely
Wait, so-
interesting.
So that they're giving Monroe a new skin.
No,
No,
it's
it's not
gonna
Monroe.
be Doc Redfield or something, whatever his name is.
Oh, okay.
The
Mhm.
guy that was
Or
torturing the
whatever.
prisoners.
Yes.
The guy
and
who- Yeah. Okay.
so basically he's let loose. And it's one of those things where he's gone wild and he's been killing people and stuff. And at the bottom of the poster, it says Desalle. So Desalle is most likely coming back. Thank God. We are finally
Okay.
getting the format variety we always wanted.
Okay, but what if
Minimum, at least.
what if he doesn't? What if it doesn't come back though? What are we gonna do?
Well,
We're going
Five
to
Riot.
quit
I
I'm
have
gonna
a pair.
forever.
I'm gonna cry.
Fifield, I got a pair of cheeks I need to clap. I mean, I ain't got
Oh my
much,
gosh!
but all right. Realistically, it's going to be a hell of a wait. I mean, we've already got a gaming list to back up most of this anyway. We've got interesting games that have just come out, and we might get into that maybe near the end of this podcast or something. But so far, it looks like another Garden of the Witch event, and we're gonna get a little bit less interesting value for this, but it might be more skins and hopefully more health patches because they specifically are doing things to update the UI, and we are finally getting the duos that can invite a random trio partner. Thank God.
Yeah.
That is
Ooh.
going to be good. That's
Yeah,
one of the
I think
features
that'll
I've
be
been looking
nice.
forward to.
Coming.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I've been looking forward to the most. How are we feeling, boys?
I think,
I never
yeah.
play with randoms. I
Solid
just
to
look
have
for a duo that we've got going on the Discord, and
But it might be a good way of meet. Like I'm the same way, but I think it's gonna be a good way of meeting new friends, making more
It's
of a community
also-
out of the game.
It's also a great way, because like someone may have one person they like to play with, but not a third. Like there are plenty of people that play that way, and they don't want to necessarily like join a random Discord or something like that. But
True.
essentially, they'll It'll be nice because I definitely sometimes I'm like, we only have one person, but I'd like to play trios, and that's a lot of games.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I think it could add a lot of value to it. I think it might even fix part of a problem that we're going to talk about in a bit from a suggestion box, because we've actually had people messaging in the suggestion box again, but they're also treating it like it is a fucking chat room. So there's that too.
Naughty,
But-
naughty.
Naughty. Yeah. And as for, the rest of the event, I'm hoping there's a bit more meat to it. I'm hoping there's at least more of a theme. But
Kind
I
of
wouldn't.
like the Post Malone event almost, but not a
Not
celebrity.
even close.
Not that
even close.
More like the old ones prior to that. More, you could even say as much as when Mammon's Gulch was introduced without, the addition of the map. Like basically the mechanics that were introduced with that.
Yeah, I mean that was still like a full event though.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, as long as it's a full event, like.
I need visual flair.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of aesthetic to please the eyes at the very least.
Indeed.
But I do want to get into some of the suggestion box because we actually didn't get quite into it last time. But one of the things is suggestion box. Oh, thanks, Colin. Yeah, lovely voice for us. Warfinger dropped a video that Shroud posted, and it was along the lines of like not looter shooters. Extraction shooters. And how the aesthetic of a lot of them, especially ones like Tarkov, extremely difficult ones. So Hunt fits right into that category of where it is important for those games to keep their roots, and how it is important for them to not necessarily get rid of the aspects that makes it hard to enter those games, where, the aspect of permadeath and how it's less forgiving, high prices on really high rated guns, and how it's easy to go bankrupt if you spend too many hunt dollars. Obviously, that's not what Shroud said, but that's kind of what I think War was alluding to when he posted this video. I have to agree with that kind of sentiment, keeping Hunt interesting, because too many people want to steer Hunt in a different direction and they want to keep it into a more soft core version of Tarkov, whereas I think
It's like
Go
they're
ahead,
trying to make it be the Call of Duty HBZ or whatever it was called.
Yeah. And I don't agree with that. I agree with War. I don't agree with people who think that we need to keep putting what's the word? Training wheels on the game and keep people interested and keep shaking keys with new skins and shit. I mean, obviously we always like new interesting skins, but I think it's important that we don't get rid of the entire purpose of Hunt being difficult. And that's why I didn't like events where it made it so it was too easy to replenish bars. I think that shit gets really boring really fast. Personally. I like new traits with gimmicks. I don't like it when your bars replenish from the simplest of mistakes because an event's going on and you could just bring them all back. I think that the punishment is a good thing.
Right, I think, and besides, if it's an event thing that just does that, obviously people are gonna like that, or they're not gonna like it. But the people who do like it, they're not gonna like the game afterwards because it's gone then, because it was just an event thing, or it'll set a bad precedent for the game later, and then they will just add it permanently later, and then it ruins the game.
Yeah, I think it kind of follows the premise of what I said about if you don't like Vanilla Hunt, and this is no offense to anyone who has a rough time with Vanilla Hunt and likes the events, but this game will not remain for you because they can't have an event every single day. So it's not the mainstream games that can hold these kinds of events. Vanilla Hunt will have to exist at some point. So this game will not be for you if that's not the core gameplay loop you like. And I stand by that.
Right, but I mean, it's kind of hard for the developers to balance that, because obviously they want more people to play the game, but when you think of it that way, it might be kind of hard for more people to get involved. So I don't know. It's a rough balance, because I want the game to grow too, but
Well, it's a rough
definitely
balance
Yeah.
Well, in the sense that it's a rough balance, because if you betray the hardcore players and you keep a rotation of new players, you're also dooming your game in the sense that you are
There's-
not keeping
Yeah. It's like
the
there's two games basically.
exactly.
And
You're
each
not
have a
Yeah,
different
dooming.
player
you've now
base.
got
Yeah.
Event Hunt and Basic Hunt.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that's kind of
These is
how
neither.
it's been lately. Yeah. Exactly.
So
So
I think
obviously
that's
they need to find a nice balance.
absolutely, yeah, War. I think that was a really interesting point, and I thought Shroud brought up a good point of why Tarkov remains a popular game despite its like the way people treat it and the way people mock it. I really think that Tarkov knows its identity, and I think Hunt Showdown is in a similar boat, but it will quickly fall out of that boat if it forgets what it is. And they're
Yeah.
well on that road if they don't stop.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to be playing it, but I just hope it doesn't come to that completely, because
Yeah.
it's not why I started playing the game in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely not. We're not going to abandon ship just because of a rocky road, you know? We're willing to push through.
Yeah, I mean they're still trying. They're still experimenting. I mean, obviously we got to give them some leeway and credit for what they're doing too, of course. So,
Of course.
yeah.
But yeah. Well, and also Junior Gobstopper, as he calls himself in our server. And he's got like 4 fucking different names, so I got to make fun of him and I call him Junior instead. He posted a video from Witty about how to fix randoms. I think the name is Witty. I've said Whitey and Witty. Everybody says it different. But he has some interesting key points about how randoms can be really frustrating to play against actual teams that team up and enter the bayou. And what are your guys' thoughts?
I'm
Well-
torn because now they have the whole random only chat. So it's not like you're announcing to everybody where you're at when you're talking anymore.
Right, because that was bad. I was fighting against a team and I could hear them like calling out, and I'm like, guys, I can hear you. Like, I can just not do what you say that you think I'm doing, and then like I'm gonna win the fight, and he did. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and elaborate further. What else, what's got you torn?
It's more that, like, depending on how they implement it, and with Crytek's track record, I can't I can't positively say that they would implement it correctly. That they'll probably implement it wrong. Like you could have it be where it's like the wrong way of you make it so there's randoms only lobbies, or you could do it the right way where it's just easier to have randoms playing against teams and you don't have to worry about proximity to your teammates to hear them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm torn because of that.
I definitely think there's a huge advantage or disadvantage rather, because you don't exactly know these people and the playstyles might not always mix. I mean, randoms are notorious for a reason. I disagree with most of the reasons because I think most people just don't play well with others, and that's the problem with randoms.
Right.
I know, hot
Ding, ding,
fucking
ding.
take.
Well, I
But-
mean, shit, imagine being a random and you wind up with me as your teammate with the way that I play.
Realistically, it's a scenario of do you make it work or don't you? And if you're not prepared to work with a random person, you shouldn't be doing it at all. So
Yeah.
And some people work better with certain
Right.
people than others. So
But I also think people shouldn't be scared to play with randos either.
no. But
Because I am one of those
affect
people.
someone's experience, though.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and what Witty says is where the queuing, where it's more likely to put randoms in random lobbies and teams in team lobbies. I definitely think that that's an interesting suggestion. I just think that a lot of the times, what a lot of people don't consider is the different MMR groupings. Well, like us,
Which is
for
still
example, in
bullshit.
HB, right? Like us in HBE, sometimes you have a really big imbalance of the player MMRs that are playing together just because we're friends. We want to play together. And since the MMR fixture often doesn't get too affected by the MMR, what's the word, like the thing where it tries to balance the whole lobbies. So I say we'd still end up in a lot more coordinated high level teams regardless, which sucks. And a lot of randoms might have better matches, but I think it's not going to inherently fix randoms, because I think the problem with randoms runs deeper than just having their own voice chat and having the ability to not face people who already know each other. I think it has a lot to do with more so the randoms play styles and stuff. And that's hard to fix because you can't just change a person. And he also proceeds to
has that.
Exactly. And so a lot of people, they have, these solutions where they are talking about punishment systems, and Witty even talks about it. But the problem with the punishment system is, how does it dictate it? I mean, maybe you have two toxic teammates who refuse to revive you, and you somehow manage to get back up and they both go down, and you have 50 health left because they didn't choke you when you're on the ground burning and you're trying to run to survive. Granted, you could play it out, but maybe you really wanted to get that hunter to level 50. Let's say it's the one time you decide to be selfish and the game gives you, like, I don't know, a 30-minute ban. That's going to feel like shit, and that's going to make a lot more people even more angry. So it's really
going to cause a lot more people to leave.
Yeah.
And if the whole point is to, if the whole thing is to, like, get more people playing the game, having stuff like that is going to make it way harder to hold on to players.
It is. So keeping an open door, a revolving door here, and if they choose to go all the way around and leave, that's their choice. It's a really delicate situation. I don't fault Witty for trying to come up with a solution. I think he's a very smart person, and I think that he has some really good key points. But I think it's a lot more complicated than even he would understand, and I think that's what the Crytek team is struggling with. And Godspeed to them. I really hope they figure something out.
I mean, I think the video, like you were saying, it does make very interesting points and good points too, but counter arguments, and maybe he covered a lot of the counter arguments I'm going to bring up, but obviously I feel like that would be more just punishing two people who do play in teams and more kind of holding the hands of people who only play with randos. And then there would just be a whole divide of the player base again, because there's already not a lot of people playing the game, and I feel like that would make the queues much longer, less people to play with. Like, you'd get lobbies that aren't full anymore, because you're only playing with teams or you're only playing with randoms. I mean, if you're playing with randoms, I think it would be okay, but there's a lot of people who like to play with their friends only, so I think it's, in a way, that could be punishing them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it's a rough situation to figure out, and we wish Crytek the best on that. Keep giving your feedback.
And obviously, I don't have the analytics, and I don't know if Witty has the analytics either. Maybe he knows more than me. I mean, he probably does, but it was just some counter arguments, which again he may have addressed in the video. I haven't watched it in its entirety.
Everything and all
yeah,
that sort of stuff.
Because
and of course, when you make a video, like, immediately, like, we have what his video was and it was at the time it was released, and he may have multiple things that could be counter to what we're saying, and we're not having this sort of conversations. So
it's more like we're watching a video and we're talking about it.
So it's something interesting, and that's why Bard decided to bring it up, and that's awesome.
Yeah, we have the luxury of having the conversation aspect, whereas I think he was really just making a video,
He's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to be quiet for Crytek.
He's put in a spotlight, and he's got a sort of crosshair over him of judgment of the players of this game, and so that's got to be a tough position to be in.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I more or less like his feedback, and I would like to see something happen, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, But Sway, how about an environmental effect where if you sit still in one spot too long, the corruption of the bayou starts to sap your life away, something to encourage movement? No, because that's exactly what Fortnite is. That's exactly what Apex is. We don't need a shrinking circle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that shit is so. We don't need Hunt to be like every other extraction shooter.
I think
Campers shouldn't be punished no matter how much we hate them.
I think that's the difference between Hunt and a lot of games is that it encourages patience. It encourages patience, and I think that is a wonderful thing to encourage.
Yeah,
Of all the mechanics, that's the one that I would say, do not mess with that one.
Especially in a dad shooter.
Yeah, exactly. It's because like Hunt is borderline like battle royale already, and that would just make it a complete battle royale. Like you're not trying to get a bounty, you're just trying to be the last one alive at that point. And I
mean,
that's
you
what's
could
different
add that
about.
to. Sorry to interject, but you could add that to Soul Survivor, if in a way, you know.
I
The
mean,
game
Soul
that all like
Survivor
Really,
3
it
people
already,
play
it already
anymore.
pushes itself. Oh, no one plays that anymore? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, if people did want to play a more battle royale, Hunt Soul Survivor was the way to go. That was basically like a battle royale where you had to find your weapons and like
Soul Survivor
um
should have
yeah.
added teams long ago. I think that's actually one of that that mode is actually, like, you could argue it's a really good mode in regards to, like, if you had teams that would make such a, like, that's where that dynamic movement could come from, where you find some guns and you're basically just like, I mean, that would be your Fortnite mode, you know, with the corruption, all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. It's based on a timer, it's based on that sort of stuff, and collecting guns. There you go.
Yep.
Just add teams and we're perfect.
But no one's playing it anyways, which means nobody wants to play a battle royale.
Drop
Hunt,
it.
so
Get
the
rid
end.
of it.
Well, I think it's important to keep it, even if it was like if you stand in one spot too long. You know what I think really affected the camping, and people might disagree with me, but I think the change to bullet drop. I've seen so many more people try to close that gap to a reasonable amount, as opposed to sniping me from fucking God knows how
And
far
sitting
away.
in one spot, yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the bullet drop because I hated snipers before
Yeah.
pre-patch. It was so god awful. It was.
Well, it's like, and we always do this when we run into the situation. You just have that one guy sitting like in this perfect spot
One
on the
guy.
mountain, and he's like we have the bounty, and he wants us to fight him, but he's not making a move on us. He's just sitting in one spot. He wants us to fight him, and so what we do is we just look at each other and be like, okay, let's get out of here. Let's go the opposite direction. And then that person's gonna throw a fit like, no, you're supposed to stay, and I'm supposed to shoot you and fight you. Like, yeah, that was stupid. So like the bullet drop definitely helped with that. So
Well,
It feels less irritating to get killed by a sniper now because it feels like it
Yeah.
actually takes some skill.
yeah, and they are actually putting thought into
Holy
their
son,
shots.
snipers, you still don't deserve my respect. I'm sorry.
Well, and I think that the kind of playstyle that we play when we notice a camper counteracts that and kind of makes it not necessary. Just if you have the
Right.
bounty and that motherfucker is sitting 150 meters away, run. Make
Yeah,
the
why-
motherfucker come to you.
Yeah, why stay and fight or stay in one spot just like him? Either run to him safely, I might add, or just don't even engage him. Is it really worth it? You have the bounty. You have what you came for.
That
Get
being
out of there.
said,
Right.
I would say that, like, sometimes they have that perfect angle, especially if you have a team, like a trio, is all sniping.
Who are all doing the same
and
thing, you
there's
know?
like open, like there's open area, and the only place to run is open. Good luck with that. That's the only
Counter-
thing I'll say about that.
Counter argument: choke bombs and dynamite sticks. They
Yeah,
provide visual cover.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
there's still always ways to get out if you're smart
Counter
enough.
argument. I choose not to counter that argument.
Basically, what I'm
But
trying to say is, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right, and
Yeah.
and there are situations, of course, that are much harder to get out of than others, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you're in a situation where it's very clear they're not moving towards you, why even engage that? That's not
Yeah.
fun for you. Like, just punish those people who who want the game to work their way. They want the game to run a specific way, even though that's not everyone else's play style.
You
Like
play your game.
they're already choosing to play a game and not have fun by sitting in one spot. That's their choice. So punish them for it. Like, you know what I mean? So they've already made that decision.
On my next upgrade of Crytek Plus 5 field, please make it so when they headshot me, the bullet bounces back and hits them instead.
Don't give them ideas.
I like
No, they'll
this
do it.
update. Anti-sniper.
It's funny we say that, and while I was like saying, yeah, give the Nitro its range back. I still agreed that the Nitro needs its range back. But it's just funny that this is all in the same episode. So.
No, for sure. Well, we also had like a bunch of people comment in the suggestion box and fucking yada yada yada. I gotta scroll through bullshit. But Warfinger had another suggestion. War, I need to fucking have a private word with you. He wants us to record for 38 hours straight so he can listen to HB all the way home to Canada. Motherfucker, we're doing it right now. So this is the 38-hour live stream.
Okay.
And
No.
we're taking bathroom breaks on microphone, so you got to deal with the grunting if we do shit.
Yeah, you got to deal with our you have to hear our chewing when we're eating food.
Yeah. The TV when
You
we're
want
bored.
38 hours of our
Yeah.
you want 38 hours of our bullshit, you gotta have 38 hours of our real shit too.
Yes, exactly.
Beautifully said.
Alright, who's got the loudest
HBESMR.
HBASMR. It's just a bunch of gun noises clicking.
And it's not even just like the gun noises clicking. It's like us making them with our mouths, like mimicking the guns.
Oh yeah, because they always have to mimic the sounds into their microphone and their
Yeah,
fingers.
because
and stuff,
like take the Nitro, you gotta be like.
This one's a Crown and King.
This one's a Chukino.
What's funny is even though you guys are fucking around with the noises, when you guys say the gun, I can hear it in my head. That's how
I know, me too. Me too.
Everyone's like, yes, I do hear that one.
Yes. That one is clearly a terminus and not a slate.
You know you have way too many hours when you hear it from at least 700 plus meters and you're like, wait, that one's not a rival. That one is definitely a terminus. And
Yeah.
like, how can you tell?
Yeah, or some there are some guns I get mixed up. Like I think the under barrel carbine, like the Lamat, like sounds very similar to a terminus shot. So or like the Berthier sounds very similar to a Lebel. Those two sound exactly the same to me. Like there are some that I kind of get mixed up, but generally I am like, yeah, that's a Mosin I hear. Like that's 100% a Mosin, you know.
Well, also the amount of shots sometimes like gives that away. Like one shot
yeah.
would be Romero, two rival.
Yep.
If you hear continuous shotgun shots, it's definitely a terminus with levering.
Yeah. Or a Crown
Or
and
a
King.
Crown.
Well, Crown and Kings have a very Crowns and Romero sound similar, but Crowns obviously have a higher pitch and they shoot much faster, so you can definitely tell it's a Crown. So
slap sound at the
it's
end
a
of
pow,
it.
pow, pow.
Just
Very mechanical.
Yeah.
I never believe Avtos anymore though, because those fucking chaos bombs ruin
Oh
everything.
my god, they always shoot the opto, and then you actually see that guy with the opto, and you're like, oh god.
Oh my god, it's fucking real.
It's real.
Oh my god, I
We hope you enjoyed this section of ASMR with HB.
Right.
I domed an opto with a Sparks pistol couple weeks ago, and it felt so good because he was so try hard. He was all like quick peeking and trying to get all flick shots on me, and I'm like, bro, and I just shot him like once in the head. Like,
Can you imagine a hunter actually just starts doing that?
Yeah, it just felt so good. It's like, screw you, dude. Like, it was a bounty clash. It was a bounty clash too, so it was like even worse for him. Like,
Man,
I don't know. It was just funny.
You can literally feel the mouse movements in
Yeah.
your screen.
Yeah, I did win that game too, and I took that off just to like prove that I won it. So
Your
like,
monitor starts shaking whenever he moves left and right. Just
yeah.
What?
He's-
Okay. A quick question though, genuine, and you know that we are all joking about guns. What is the one gun you hear and you know the fucking gun sound and your heart shrinks a little bit like, oh no.
the slate.
Lamat carbine.
Ooh, a slate. A Lamat carbine? Okay, interesting.
I'm so glad that I put the fear of me into you.
Well, because you know they got freaking slugs in that baby. You know what I mean? And they'll just shoot you
Yep.
far away with that thing.
Fuck
I
you,
was-
my carbine always has star shell.
Exactly. Oh shit.
You know, a legitimate answer to your question. I think Auto 5 at Crown. I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
one-
that's mine. That's mine.
That's a
too.
good
so
one.
far, that's rough.
fair.
I hear that. I'm
Mine
like,
is-
oh, wait, I can smell them through my microphone. Like, you know what I mean?
And let me just add this. Whenever I hear a nitro, I'm like, ooh, friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's like, oh, this guy's kind of cultured. Like,
Motherfucker's brave,
A
dude.
man knows his
Yeah.
guns.
Mine is a weird answer because I just know if I hear this fucking gun, they know how to use it, and I am in big trouble. A
Is it the Winnie?
Mako. It's a
Oh.
Mako,
oh
dude.
my god, yeah.
Because I'm like,
Oh.
oh fuck, he knows how to shoot that, doesn't he? Every fucking time I think that, I'm domed almost instantly.
Yep. Oh my gosh, because I feel like, I don't know if it's just us, but like, I know you feel the same way, DJ. I can't use that gun. It just doesn't translate
can't.
well to me. Like, I
Me
just,
neither.
It's the sights. They're weird.
for me, it's not even the
You know
sights.
what's
It's
worse
just
than the
everything
Mako?
else.
It's the 1885 or whatever it's
Oh.
called.
You hear that one a You hear
65,
that one a
yeah.
lot,
65?
though. You hear that one a lot, though,
Well,
because, a
because
lot
they're
of free
trying to
hunters run
push
them.
it. They're
Yeah.
trying to push it, and then they're also like inventing new guns based around it. Then they're like, "Hey, do this quest," and we're just like, "No, please stop."
To be fair,
Guns
that
suck.
was, yeah, that was how the Chukunu was for me, and I was like, oh god, you want me to use this piece of garbage, and I
You
used
got a
it
quest for the Chukunu?
when it first came out. Yeah, and I was like, oh god, this is gonna take me forever because this gun looks like it's gonna be terrible. And I used it, I got it done within like an hour. I was like, oh my god, this thing is amazing. So to be fair, sometimes it does work. So
Like, the first experience I had was with Incendiary, and someone was using Incendiary. So when like Bard talks about using the Incendiary with that thing will fuck you up with Incendiary.
incendiary. You
Well,
said that word a lot. Sorry.
Incendiary.
Tomato,
Yeah.
tomato.
What was your
He's dowing.
what was your answer, Colin?
The
Lamat
Lamat carbine. I hear that thing and I know I'm gonna get headshot.
Okay.
In
Is it usually
fairness,
with high velocity or?
No,
well, it
that's
doesn't
what
have
always.
that.
That's what. Oh,
it's
it doesn't.
normally
Okay.
FMJ. It's FMJ. I always
Good. That's
headshot
probably
with
me
FMJ
shooting you
from
then.
that thing.
That's probably me headshotting you then.
Well, I kind of second that with Colin because it's just like the Mako, where it's not necessarily like the 9 shots that scares you. It's like this guy takes this gun a lot, and then
Yep.
since it's a Lamat, you're like, I can't close the gap. There's a shotgun on that fucking thing.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that gun is one of my favorites for a reason, and I'm sure Rat can go on about it too. So.
Oh, absolutely. But
That gun is a
that and like
godsend.
if I hear a crossbow bolt fly past my fucking head, I'm shitting my pants.
Oh, that's another good one that I kind of panic with
Yeah.
too. Actually.
Yeah, if I hear a crossbow bolt fly
Actually-
past my head, it terrifies me.
Yeah, that's
Along
a good
those
answer.
lines, the bow. Whenever you hear a bow, you hear that thunk or that
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
so silent. And you know what's really fucking annoying? How little the bow makes noise with a frag arrow. That fucking pisses me off.
Oh yeah, you can't hear it until it explodes.
Until it's
basically.
like almost
Yeah.
exploded. And
Yeah.
You're like, wait a second, there are frag arrows on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the problem with the bow too is now they're in the rotation of the free hunters too, so you see it a lot
Mhm.
too, so it's kind of
And
scary.
100 hands is really good on that thing.
Oh yeah, and I love the bow too. Don't get me wrong, but
I
definitely
loved it when it
use 100
first came
hands with
out.
that thing.
Now I do not like it at all.
I just pretend I'm playing Warframe and then I'm okay. So.
All right. So with the possible, I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to predict the damn map releasing. With the possible release of Desalle on this next patch or the one following. So I, for one, have mixed feelings on the map itself. I'm wondering, because what you anticipate from the re-release of Desalle, what is a compound that you did not like in Desalle, and if possible, what would you have changed about it?
Pelican. I hate Pelican.
I have to look up the map.
Okay,
I
what
don't
would
like-
you
I
have
don't-
changed about Pelican?
I would have made it much smaller, less vertical, and it's basically the center of the map, and it's on a hill. So like you'd think it'd be good defending, but my God, it's just so bad. Like every time I'm attacking or defending that place, it's just frustrating. It's not as of a hassle to navigate as like Nichols Prison and stuff, but it is just Pelican is my second least favorite place to fight at, next to Nichols, and that's funny because they're both the prisons. But I think they have similar layouts. Obviously, I think Pelican is less vertical, but it just has those like tall walls you have to like climb up to, and even if you're climbing up to it, people are going to see you from behind you who are also on the ground, and they'll shoot at you. It's just not a fun place to attack or defend. It's really not. I would have just gotten rid of it. I don't like it.
It sucks for me because my favorite map and my least favorite map are the same map. It's
That's
the plantation, Pearl Plantation.
Oh, I love Pearl.
Okay.
I love it because it's a fun map to fight around, but because it's so open around the outside, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, I fucking love this. I love this compound. It's a great compound, but also fuck this compound. I'm so goddamn sick of dying here.
Do you
So
usually
what would
die when you attack or defend?
I normally die on attacking it. Defending it, it's
Interesting.
kind of a mixed bag.
Interesting.
So what would you change to make it better?
I would
There you
just
go.
put more cover outside.
More
Like,
trees or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, more trees and stuff. Because my issue with Desalle is that it's so open everywhere. Like it's a very, very flat, open map.
That's
And,
really funny because it has more elevation than the other two.
Yeah, it
It
does.
has
not-
more elevation, yes. But everywhere to me, like when you're looking around it, it's very flat, it's very open, and trying to fucking push that compound is a pain in the dick.
So just more cover, more trees.
Yeah,
more
just a little bit more
buildings.
cover outside, and I'd be happy.
Would it be interesting if they added an underground area to Pearl so you can get into the building from farther away?
Yeah, like if there was more entrances and exits to most of the compounds, it'd be perfect.
Because that's actually my real answer for fixing Pelican, by the way. I don't think I said that, so.
Okay.
But that might also make me hate it more because I also hate fighting it pitching. So because that's all underground basically.
All right. Does anybody have an answer before?
Um,
I
oh, go ahead,
Weeping
Colin.
Stone Mill.
Weeping Stone. Okay.
Oh my god, that one
I
is
hate fighting there.
bad. Oh
I
my
hate fighting there.
god.
It because I get the idea of what they're trying to do with it. It's a very like windy area. It's a very tight fighting space, and there's a lot of entrances and exits. But
If I
that's
remember
also
right,
the
Weeping's the one
problem
with
it.
Weeping's
got
the
the
one
big
with the big
water
water
wheel.
wheel. Yeah, I fucking
Yes.
love
Yeah.
that compound.
But it's
Just being able to run up the water wheel is great.
it's the type of area that I don't know, it's too convoluted, it's too maze like when you get inside that you never know what door goes where. I don't know if that was just me being bad at the game at the time, but I just could never find my way around Weeping Stone Mill.
Yeah,
And it
especially
feels like
around
from
the main building.
from my recollection, it genuinely does not feel like it could have been a real building. A lot of the other compounds feel like they're, purposeful and built in a specific way. This one just is like, I don't understand why this staircase goes down as soon as you open the front door, and why there's a side entrance to the main level over there, and it didn't make any sense to me, and I would always lose my fights there.
It's definitely like the kind of people that love to run from fights have a ball here because they can make their
Yes.
targets run in a circle. Yeah.
That's true. That's actually a good point. Just run there if you're trying to get away from somebody. No, that's one of the places. It's one of the places I thought I liked at first, and when we actually started doing our tier list, I may have rated it higher than I actually believe now.
Oh, we didn't rate this one yet. This one and Lawson are our last two.
Okay. But yeah, it was just like nowadays when I'm playing normal hunt, obviously, because they don't have it in Bounty Clash, thank God. It's just like, do I really need to run through here? There's always people fighting over there, and they're always like the bad fights, not the fun ones, like the ones where they're sitting in one spot shooting at each other, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I don't know. I've also had a bad experience on that, but it is a great place to hide now that you bring it up. So.
Well, Richard, you were saying something, weren't you?
Well, the thing is, what I'd add to, I guess, everything is that I think Desalle is my favorite map prior to Mammoth's Gulch. I don't know if it's higher than Mammoth's Gulch, lower. I'd have to look at it again when it comes back.
Yeah.
If it ever comes back, R.I.P.
Right.
Here's a cross of fingers, But like when I'm looking at these compounds, like re-looking at them, it's always been like, a mixed bag of like different experiences and things like that. I totally understand the issues with like Weeping Stone and stuff, but like it's such, I think the flatness around the compounds, I do understand Rat's point with that, but Weeping Stone is a really nice one for me. Upper and Lower Desalle is nice because you have the cityscapes and whatnot.
Because you can just shoot Shukanu explosives down at people. They can't get away. So
everything's gonna open up for me.
Shukanu was never played on that map until Richard takes it.
Yep, it was not. But I don't know. I'd say the one I probably had the most issue with when it came to this map was probably. I'm trying to think. Really, there's a lot of good to it, and a lot of like good experience. Obviously, Hunt Showdown, you have those games where it's just like Hunt taketh all the time. But I don't know.
I have an answer if you want to think a bit deeper on yours.
Yeah. Go for it.
Because, mine's kind of funny because it's a bit contradictory. I have a place, but it's not the one I would fix, and I hate Ash Creek. Ash Creek Lumber is such fucking dog shit. Absolute, the worst goddamn place ever. No fucking place to hide. No fucking place to attack. Everything is open. Everybody fucks each other in the fucking ass while everybody's fucking that fucking guy while that fucking guy's burning. I hate Ass Creek. It's so bad.
I think the last time I actually had a fight there was with you and Element. We both got domed, but luckily Element was able to save the day.
Element's a god tier player. Shout out to the boy Element.
Yeah.
But, oh hell, I hate. There's a reason it's called Ass Creek.
Do you remember?
Fix ass.
Do you remember when Hotbot was new and he would always be in Ash Creek? Like, I was like, dude, is he even worth getting right now?
I don't think he's been in Desalle because Desalle hasn't been around.
No, not
since
Desalle. You're right. Okay, never mind. You're right. I'm thinking of a different map then. Holy crap!
I think he's thinking. Of the same location on Mammoth's Gulch. I think he's
thinking of. I am. I'm special. Thanks, guys, for
it's okay.
pointing that
out. No, it's fine because he's going to probably appear on this map. Wink, wink. According to my theories, but the map I would fix is actually one I also hate playing on, but not as much as Ass Creek. Stanley Coal Company. That map is a nightmare. It's a camper's paradise or an attacker's paradise. It just depends on who peaks first. I fucking hate it. It is nothing but stalemate central. Put more ramps, put more abilities for the people inside to get outside more smoothly, and take away a few of the brick walls. I just think that the verticality is fine, but there's not enough options for the people inside to get outside smoothly without getting sniped, and it makes it a fucking mess. Get rid of some of that with some ramps or stairs or ladders, for God's sake. Anything. Fuck.
Yeah, that one is pretty bad too. And I just want to mention, I do remember Ash Creek now, and that place is only fun if you have a bomb lance. And you run in the main building.
If you fucking get in. Holy shit, what a nightmare.
Oh man.
There's always someone burning there. That's my memories of that place. There's always a body burning.
Yeah, and they're always burning by like the chopped up logs too.
The logs or the train tracks. It's like all the fucking time.
Yeah, that open space.
Yeah,
That's
because they were
pretty
trying to run
Actually.
up to the building. Oh man.
I
But
think
what would
I've got one.
Let's hear it.
Finally. I think it would have to be Darren Shipyard.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, yeah, that one sucks.
Because
I don't know
the
why I didn't think of
compound
that one.
is like so open, like inside the big place, but then it's like so compact at the same time, and you're like, where the fuck is everybody at? And then that freaking one where they're building the little ship, that area where it's kind of open, there's always a meathead there, and there's always
Two
people
meatheads there.
walking around. But like, it needs more
I hate it
cover
there.
in between, like the places towards the ship, like in the middle, and then I would honestly like either add like another level or like underneath, or I would say block off some of the entrances or something.
I will say defending Darren is a fucking just joy.
Yeah, it's really only
It's
ideal
open.
for people who are defending, like because
Yeah.
DJ
But
and
that's
I.
why I said cover outside though. More
Yeah.
places to hide behind.
Yeah,
and
it's,
stuff like that.
I think the consensus so far is all the bad compounds generally have like no cover outside.
On the outside, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Like
actually,
it's like it's got all sorts of these trees, but once it gets like within 500 meters of the compound, they're like, "Whoa, trees! I don't want those here."
I don't want those here. It's just going to be kind of one hill that you can literally just walk over.
Or like there's water in the one, like fucking Darren Shipyard, the water on the back. Like there's no point in approaching from that side because there's the water and there's no entryways, and there's literally two sides that you enter from, and it's one or the other.
I don't know if you knew this, Richard, but Darren Shipyard does have a second level underneath the ship. You just have to go through all that crappy water to get to it.
The crappy water, yeah. Yep.
And there's all of like one elevator to get up there.
And one elevator, one place to get up. It needs like stairs or a ramp underneath there as well.
With cover.
Maybe even a place on the other side, the front of the ship that's connected, where it would kind of have an elevator or a ramp up that way or down that way, I guess.
And it's so funny
because
it's
very open in the middle.
It's funny because it's right next to one of my favorite places to fight at Fort Bolden.
Yeah, Fort's interesting.
Yeah, Fort's fun. I always have fun fights there. So that's so funny though. Yeah, I think that's our general consensus. All the maps that don't have cover on the outside.
I mean, you mentioned Ash Creek, whatever, but like, it looks so cool.
It does look cool, but half of it is covered in water, and the other half is covered in logs that aren't even there.
More logs.
Yeah.
But think about, is it Desalle? Not Desalle. Lawson Delta or Stillwater that has that one place with the logs at the top. It's the top left, not furthermost left, but the second one over on the left.
I don't remember.
What's that one?
I'd have to see a picture of it.
But like that one has logs, and that one's also got. It's horrible to approach that one, even after the update. Like it's on Lawson Delta or the other one, Stillwater.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still talking to Saul here, I think. So
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
saying like that kind of reminds like Ash Creek with the
right,
log.
right.
It
Mhm.
reminds me of that, but I like Ash Creek more than whatever the compound is because that one's a sniper paradise. Like it's hard
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
attack from the outside.
Yeah, at least with Darren, like we were saying, it's easier to defend. Like DJ and I, once we were just
Mhm.
having a really bad day, and we were just running duos all day, and we were like, screw it, we're gonna go sweaty, and we just took 2 Crowning Kings with slugs, and we decimated the entire people by just sitting in the ship, waiting for people to
Oh my
like get
God.
inside the building. I don't know if you remember that. Like we destroyed everybody because they were coming inside. They knew we had crowns, and we were just having such a bad day though.
So,
So
a consensus that it seems like everyone's getting to though is that there's not much hate on Upper or Lower Desalle, and everyone loves the city. That's what
Yeah.
I'm coming to.
Everybody
I
loves
I
that.
actually do
Yeah,
genuinely
the rest
love
of the
I-
playing
map is
Lower
I
Desalle.
love that we're
Mhm.
all in agreement on that
yeah, I
because
love fighting there. It's so fun.
like the saloon and everything. It
Yeah, the saloon.
Yeah.
It's so cowboy, bro. Like
Well-
you got like people sniping at you for the top of the buildings. It just feels like a cowboy movie.
feels
It's so
the
cool.
rotating doors where you just walk in and then they like kick you
Yeah,
out.
and then the butcher's all pissed off. Like it's just so fun, dude. Like
Well,
I love it.
The wide city streets mixed with the very tight buildings with interesting upper and lower
Yes.
levels, it makes for a very good balance. And not only that,
Mhm.
it's aesthetically pleasing. Upper and
Exactly.
lower Desalle carried Desalle. Fight me.
Oh,
And then
I agree.
10 out of 10
I
I
agree.
agree too.
Those are
10
my
out of 10
favorite places to
IGN.
fight.
Well, church,
So
which is
fun.
literally
Game of the year.
next to them, First Testimonial Church is also really fun. It's just
Oh
a
god,
fucking
I forgot
shit
about
show.
Testimonial.
As long as you don't
It's
go to
so
the
fun.
underground part, you're fine. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
have to
haven't-
have a shotgun if you're doing that. So,
So I guess a question I would ask is that what would you guys say to new players about Desalle? Like anything.
ooh,
If you live in
it's a-
Utah, you'll feel right at home.
yeah. Yeehaw, cowboy! Yeehaw!
Yeah,
That's all I
cowboy.
gotta say. That's all I gotta
Get to
say.
Because
Go
like
ahead.
if you've ever gone to like the Tombstone Museum or whatever it's called, it's just that. You're just playing Tombstone.
Yeah, with a little more trees, but
Being realistic, get to a compound as fast as you can. Run. Don't fucking wait.
yeah,
You will.
if
You're
Yeah.
outside, you're in the
Yeah.
open.
yeah. If you were tired of all the elevation from Mammon's Gulch, prepare to be amazed. There's like none on this map. So
It's like I
Prepare
said
to be
before,
amazed.
there's like elevation, but then
There
not.
it is.
There's not.
yeah,
Like on
it's
the
more
upper
like
left side is where all the elevation is, and then it
Right.
drops.
yeah, and then it more feels like it's not elevation versus high elevation versus low elevation. It's either like normal elevation or there's dips that you go into is more what it
Mhm.
feels like.
Yep.
So
Small hills.
yeah,
There's either
So-
a compound with a shitload of walls or a wide open space where you are a sitting duck.
yep. So just keep your head down and
That's
don't
why
cry.
they've waited to release it. They're like,
Yeah, they're
hey,
like,
can we
"Oh,
still
God."
get headshot from all the way on the other side of the map? Oh, yep. we
yes.
can. Let's try and change that.
Oh god,
Yeah.
people were complaining about elevation in Mammons. Oh fuck.
Right. All right. Okay. Red, I'm going to have you read the poll and comments here in just a sec, but I want to make a comment because I didn't last time. People are still fucking commenting on the whole lamp rant. You motherfuckers. I don't know why everybody still comments there, but Jesus Christ, it still makes me laugh, but you guys are assholes. All right, Rat, take it over.
Alrighty, so we'll start with comments. Daz 2 days ago said, I watch a content creator called Witty who has released an opinion pieces on how to improve hunt, and I'd like to hear your opinions. Glad we got ahead of the game on there. One was that only one extract should be visible at the start of the game, and the other two should only become visible after retrieving the bounty. This would not only incentivize people pushing for the bounty, but also stop extract campers.
Okay, that's
That's actually not a bad idea.
let
I
me
think that
give
can be a lot of fun.
let me give a quick counter argument, just really fast. They need to fix the system where you're going in a team before, if they were ever to implement this. They need to fix the system where you think you're going to freaking shooting range, and then it puts you in an actual game, and so you just have to get out right away. Or you think you're going in a bounty clash, but it puts you in a real one, and so you don't have all your stuff. They need to fix that
hold on
first,
there,
so that we
because
can get out.
first they need to fix their fucking servers.
Yeah.
True.
God
Well
damn it!
done.
I'm so tired of being rubber banded into a dynamite.
Yep.
Well, and realistically, I think it's an interesting proposition, but it also begs the question of, especially if there's a disconnect or something, that also adds to what Sleepy's saying, and I think Witty's got a lot of great ideas, but I also don't see extraction campers anymore. I don't know what people are talking about with that. I almost
Occasionally,
I play in 6-star lobbies. I do not see the shit anymore. I really don't.
Well, I see it a lot in Bounty Clash. I'll say that. Like a lot.
Okay, but Bounty Clash is a new animal.
Yeah,
it's a whole
exactly.
different beast.
Exactly. So I think maybe they could implement that maybe just for Bounty Clash. I think that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
it's not a
saying
bad idea. I think he's got a good point.
Yeah, if it appears over the period of a few minutes, so people aren't just making a beeline to it, perhaps, but maybe not as opposed to like clues. Clues could also be good, but I just don't know. It's a system that remains to be seen if it would succeed, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, for sure. They would definitely have to test it out. Because there's always going to be problems you can never account for until it happens. So it's definitely kind of hard to determine what will work and what will not work. So I get it.
Yeah. But it's an interesting thing nonetheless. And I once again, I do like Woody's opinions. I really think he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, I think he's trying to innovate. He's trying to ask some questions that might get people thinking. So I think it's a good thing.
He knows the game he plays and does what he can to like make sure that any suggestions he makes would actually be healthy for the game.
Yeah, I think he is trying. So I shout out, woo. So
Not that he'll hear it, but
yeah.
Good on you, Woody.
Yeah.
All right, Rat.
All right, so the next one is from Warfinger. Great conversation as always. I started to get significantly better once I started playing solo consistently. The crew that got me into the game left after the first 100 hours or so, and back then without VoIP, randoms felt like more of a handicap than a boon most of the time.
Interesting.
Playing solo helped me learn my own pace, how to move quickly and quietly, and how to take on multiple opponents, and it forces you to be more deliberate in your choices and make your own strategic decisions. Also, nothing like a trio wipe.
Yeah.
Great.
That is true.
That is the high that keeps us playing the game.
Well, especially as a
Absolutely.
solo, like you're saying, War. Holy fuck, dude.
Yep.
Nothing gets me harder. I mean, happier. Both.
Yeah, that's why I pretty much mostly play exclusively solo. Well, mostly because I just work really late. So, but I love solo. So.
Yeah. No, great points though. All right.
Yeah, I mean it's I got better playing solo myself, so
Yeah, so if you're getting into the game, especially when Desale's dropping, maybe just try doing it solo if you're only playing with teams. Try it out. Maybe learn a different pace for a different map. Might work
Because
out for you.
There'll be a lot of players like you that don't know what the fuck that map is.
Yep, exactly. And especially where it's been gone for so long and Hunt has had so much new players, there's a lot of people who are not going to understand how to run this map. So I think, just take it at your own pace. Play with teams. Try it with teams. Play it solo. Try it by yourself. Like, see how you like it. Just kind of experiment.
avoid being in the open as much as you can because even though the entire map is open, like there's places to hide.
Yep.
True.
And then our guest from last episode, Cube, Says something I totally forgot to ask all the seasoned players of the game. What does Crytek need to do to bring in a mass amount of new players? Checked the Steam charts a few days ago, and players online was under 6K. Is it time for concern?
No time for concern.
No, this is normal.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very-
pretty
them
average
do
at
their
this
thing.
point.
Yeah, it's no time for concern. What they need to do, I hate to, like say something that a lot of people would shake their head at, but I think Richard is right. Aesthetics are going to make people very excited, whether or not it's small. Bring some fucking art into here, bring some cool things to look at, and bring Desalle back. I guarantee the new map is going to bring an infinite amount of people that are more interested to see a new map.
New old
Yep.
map.
Yep.
New old.
Yep.
Well, like, and
A new to you map.
as much as everybody agrees that them trying to turn this game into a live service game is a bad idea, we do tend to play more during an event, and that's just the truth of the matter. That's why when you looked at the player count and it was so low, is because there's not an event right now. That's
Well,
just what Hunt has turned into right now. Hopefully they can fix that, but just
once they-
innovating more. Yeah, once they innovate more, once they have some more time getting things up for after the bugs that they fix are out of the way, like, I think as long as they keep doing what they're doing, it'll be all right. So I don't think I'm not concerned anyways. I would like more people though, so any
Well,
ideas
yeah,
for more people is a good thing. So
Once they decided that they were going more live service, there was no turning back. Like they had they have to continue on this path and see where it takes them.
Yeah. Well, and a big thing is getting so a big thing is like they're getting a lot more where they need to jingle the keys. We're getting where certain people have really short attention spans. And one of the first things being a person who has ADD, I really like to stare at I'd really like to stare at shit, and that might not work for very long, but especially with Desalle, making small map changes is going to be a big deal. And on a bigger note of making it so that the UI is more innovative and that the flow of the game overall, from loading screen, from loading screen to getting into the game just is quicker. That's a big thing.
yeah, that is one of my things. I think that's what makes me the most mad when I'm having a bad night in Hunt. It's like, oh, I just took forever to load into this game, and now I just get killed right away. Now I have to do that again, and it's just like, I think that would also help too. So obviously that's a lot easier said than done. So I'm not going to hold it over against the devs if they don't just magically somehow fix that problem right away, because that's not the way the world works. So
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Rat, what's up?
And then a new commenter, the Madnessu 684. Hey guys, love this podcast. It surely keeps me entertained while I'm at work. I started listening to this podcast when Madman's Gulch came out last year, shortly after I started playing, and have listened to every episode before and after twice. Y'all's rants and time you let Rat host make me laugh and are very entertaining.
hell yeah.
I feel like this is a Rat Smurf account.
Yeah, I think
surprisingly
he's...
enough, no.
Oh, sure, that's what I'd say too.
This is a rat or a Bard hate comment. I'm just fucking with you.
No, that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So,
That's awesome, man. No,
Yeah,
that's
great.
Yeah, that's
purposely
fantastic.
that's purposely why I let Rat and Kaiser host, because I find them to be the most funny whenever they like to go fucking crazy. So
I mean, it seems like people appreciate our shenanigans, and I'm okay with that.
The return is soon. Let's
Yes,
just say that.
we will soon have a return of
Play some
the
spooky
Sarkai
music.
Rat.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then,
oh, go ahead.
go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you so much for listening, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We
Yeah,
appreciate
that's awesome.
it. And then we have Sparta K4U. That says, I love how all of my guns pool is mentioned, especially the Lamat carbine. See, another follower of the Church of the Almighty 3-star. It's not a cult.
Just because it's Levat Carbine, you bitch. First off, that's Junior, and one of his many aliases, because the motherfucking British can't fucking figure out an identity. He's having a crisis.
Hey man, I mean, you know, if your son would rather follow me than his father, then we need to nurture that.
Said,
Yeah.
I never said I was a good father. This motherfucker is
Hey, I'm with you guys. Lamat carbine. Yeah, that's
Lamat carbine is amazing.
That's the ace of spades right there.
Best gun.
It scares me.
I wouldn't say the best, but I love it. Well,
Right,
not my
yeah.
best gun. Not my best gun, but I do love that gun. But that's okay.
It is my best gun.
That's
And
what
then
you play.
and then
what
our
you're good with.
Our Aussie friend Disfigured 91, a newly appointed honorary hunter, says another goated podcast. No questions for me, but where's my invite to the podcast? All love Disfigured. P.S. Rat's a cockhead.
No, it's on its way. It's we are doing delivery by Kangaroo. Turns out that Kangaroo got lost somewhere.
I mean, it's a
Uh,
big continent, so
And
Yeah,
I'd like
right.
to just add some backstory to the cockhead comment. He said that I was a cockhead because we were playing a couple of games together and I decided to run memes. And I was running double choke hand crossbow with waxed frag charges.
yeah, that sounds like
Come
you.
on.
And he was like, "Oh man, I'd hate to fucking play against you. You're such a fucking cockhead."
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah,
He
Any more?
deserves to be an honorary hunter.
he does. He does.
But that is it for comments as of right now. We do
All
have
right.
some polls.
Poll one.
Yeah, a poll. How many hours do you have in Hunt Showdown? Almost or about 100 is 0. About 300 was 3 people at 38%. About 500 was 0. About 700 was also 0. Nearly 1,000 or 1,000 plus was 38% at 3 votes. And Bro, I Need a Life is 2 votes at 25%.
So what this has been telling us is that there are some new hunters, but most of the people who are still playing and adding hours are older hunters. Okay.
Some new-ish
Absolutely.
hunters.
Yeah.
I just wonder if those 1,000-hour hunters are lying. I wonder if you guys need a life like we do.
Yeah, I've got here I'm looking right now. Over 1,500 hours. I definitely need a life, so
I'm
I think
approaching 3. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm approaching 3,000.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
yeah, there's a reason why you're prestige 100.
Yes, sir.
I'm at a measly 750 right now.
That's
Yeah,
half of what I've been playing. That's not measly. That's a lot.
Just
I'm at
over
like
1,000.
1,050 right now.
Oh, Rat, you and I
Yeah.
have basically the same playtime.
That's so funny.
It is fucking awesome. No, that's great, guys.
This is how me and Kaiser can fusion Ha.
Yep.
I
If
have the
HBE
same amount of hours as you.
If HBE fusioned, that would be one morbid Frankenstein that couldn't play shit for Hunt. Just saying.
No,
Or it
because
would
we would
be
be
his
relying on your
cancer.
we would be relying on your 3,000 hours and then everything else would just be you'd be cracked with memes.
To be fair, it's always good to have a wild card on your team, and that would be quite the wild card. So,
You're
That'd be
like
one
trying to play.
fuck of a wild card.
You're
yeah.
trying to play serious. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get this hunter, and there's I must lob grenade at them, and it's like, wait, what are you doing? Be silent. What the
And then you kill the whole team.
grenade.
One hand has a fucking true shot fucking packs, and the other one's got a big dynamite bundle.
We'd be
And you
walking
just-
out looking like Godric the Grafted with a bunch of fucking weird ass weapons.
Hell yeah.
It would be an actual nightmare.
Hey guys,
All right.
check this out. I duct taped a fucking
A Chuka
Bomb
to a
lance to a
dynamite
rev-
to a nitro to a bomb lance to a brown and cringe to a.
All right, boys. Colin, do you have your subject ready?
Give me just a second. My wife just
Oh.
got here.
Word. Okay. So, Tyler, what you got?
I was gonna bring up when is Desalle coming back?
Oh,
So-
unknown.
so-
Unknown,
Yeah,
but
so-
maybe next week. Ooh.
So I guess we can talk about more what we would do if it didn't come back, because that is always a possibility. There might be
Cry.
unforeseen stuff. Yeah, I did say cry earlier, but honestly, if it doesn't come,
Die.
we know it's
That's
coming
why
at
they
some
call it
point.
Cry Engine.
Yeah, it's true. We know it's still coming, but like, would it be? I don't know how to say this without sounding weird. Would it be bad to like maybe take a little break from the game until it comes back? I don't know. If it
Dude,
doesn't,
I've
come.
been playing so much fucking Doom. So like yeah, it's just fine to take a break, my guy.
Well, absolutely. On a serious note, the people that are like obsessing over Hunt having another update, please play your backlog. Don't worry so much about other games. It doesn't matter if it's Hunt. Just give your backlog a play and worry about Hunt when it gets its shit together. Just play games.
Yeah,
Having said
remember,
that-
Doom the Dark Ages exists and it's a thing now and you need to play it. It's amazing. Holy shit, it's so good.
Having said that, I would say bring out as many people to play this game as possible too, because I think the game needs to grow.
Absolutely. And if you're brand new to Hunt and this is your entry in, hello.
Yeah.
So
Don't be
Welcome to
discouraged. The
Hunt
event hasn't
Harris
started
Show.
yet, so like hopefully the sweats will go away. So,
right, sweat, go away. I'm not
I
at
mean,
the
this-
gym. You
The
are
sweats
not gonna finish that.
the sweats are here to stay, but there will be more, I guess,
Well-
casual players too. So
As a great mind once said, through to the window, to the wall, let the sweat.
Trip down my balls. Holy shit. Okay.
Moving on.
All right. Rat, what you got?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't prepare a thing today. And
What you
I
got
may
on the
have had
top
a
of your
few
mind?
buzz balls the time that we've been sitting at top of my mind.
Yeah.
If the Doomslayer was a hunter, how fucked would we be?
Well, considering chainsaws were invented around this era, right? So yeah, expect a lot more screaming in the bayou.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
Yep, a lot
absolutely.
more screaming.
Well, we had that weapon that like was freaking nuts. But what was it called? The one that Post
The-
Malone had with the runes.
Oh man, he would be a Post Malone shredder main.
Yeah, the Shredder. That's what it's called. R.I.P. Shredder.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we RIP'd that like before the event was over, my
Before
guy.
the event was over, the first week after you couldn't use it anymore.
Dude, we
All right.
RIP'd that shit like the day that they nerfed it.
Freaking hell.
Tyler, any opinions on Doom
The
Guy
Doomslayer?
being a hunter?
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not
Just
doing
no.
that.
Yeah, Doom Guy and Kratos event when Crytek.
Right.
This isn't
Okay.
Fortnite.
Richard,
It's the guy from Fortnite.
I know your ass came prepared. Give it to us.
All
Let's hear it.
right. Here is something my ass came up with. Imagine this scenario. Imagine if the funds and money were not an issue and possibilities were endless for Crytek as a developer and Hunt Showdown was able to add whatever to the game. I would personally and absolutely love to add a campaign to this game. The depth and storytelling would make a great experience for a few hours. So, if this game had a sort of campaign, what stories would you focus on, and what approach to it would you take, even adding new mechanics and additions?
110% the fucking AHA. I need to hear the story of
Yeah.
Sheriff Hardin and Lynch and the whole shebang of that whole thing going down and them trying recklessly to fight the corruption. That story wise.
Yeah, because that's the main story, and then you can get on. I think they would have to do it in chapters, obviously, like release part of
So-
it like every year. But
I want to see Marshall Brewer's reaction to Sheriff Hardin sending children into the bayou to die.
yeah,
So my first question to all the story stuff would be like, so Tyler, you already mentioned chapters. Would you play as a different hunter each chapter?
I
Fuck
think you would
yes.
have to in order to get their
Okay.
personal stories down, get a little
It's
bit of
almost-
extra lore on the one hunter.
It's almost like removing trials was a bad idea.
Yeah,
Well, because
literally.
Trials is literally the legends of some of those hunters and what they accomplished to make them so notorious.
Legendary.
It was
Yeah.
grindy
Yeah.
Of
Bet y'all
course,
can't
but
It
guess
was,
which
of
trial
course.
I got 3 stars on first.
The
Lament
one-
Matt.
No, it was the one telling the rats story.
Oh yeah, of
Oh.
course, of course.
Close enough.
So is it
Close
just
enough.
text in regards to the story?
No, I think
Or-
there should be voice acting a little bit more production.
No. I'm saying with the trials. I don't know much
It's all
about the
text.
trials.
So
It's all
it
text,
was
yeah.
it was basically it was all text, but it was like a challenge mode.
To recreate what they did.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
challenge mode I remember. That's why I didn't really touch it. Is because I was interested in challenging myself with doing annoying mini tasks. But that's why I brought this campaign aspect because, I mean, you straight up brought up Doom. That's got a freaking ridiculous story in and of itself. So this
good.
game would it would do perfectly with a story and a campaign. With some cutscenes and flair,
I
all
don't-
that sort of stuff.
I don't think it would need to be a long campaign either, because if it was really long, like more than 8 hours, I think that would.
It would
be
take
too
away
much,
from the
honestly.
multiplayer aspect
Yeah.
of it, if it was possible, type of thing. Is there
Yeah.
any mechanics you guys would add to the campaign specifically that would make it kind of
Well,
like
um,
nifty?
not to take away from another game, but I would want this isn't necessarily a mechanic, but I would want a mission where it was very similar to the end of Halo Reach, where you have limited ammo and nothing but mobs. You would need more interesting mobs that were actually a challenge or that you wouldn't fucking die. But where you literally fight off as much of the corruption as you can, but it just continues coming. There's too many mobs and you just eventually die and you're a hunter that dies in the lore to the corruption. That would be
New
fucking
objective:
sick.
survive.
Yeah.
And I think with each of these chapters, it would like add on to the story, and essentially you would start going to the stories where certain ones are more played as, and that's where the story leads to, type of
Yeah.
thing.
You know, sort of like how the poison vision can be really distorting and really disorienting. Maybe even a story section where the hunter is literally losing their mind and they have to do something to get out of the actual affected area.
Like maybe
it's
go
like an
to one of the
escape mission.
witches or something. Like you go to the
Eh.
witch and you get them to bring the poison cure, something like
And
that.
essentially, like you're a hunter who overstayed their shot, you know, the 60-minute shot, quote unquote,
Yeah.
that they originally had, and you're trying desperately to escape the danger zone. That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
I think as far as gameplay wise and like obviously we can talk mechanics and everything. I think there's a lot of cool ideas we could add to it, but I think in like a structural sense it would need to be somewhat linear, like just put you
Definitely.
in the pre-existing maps already, but like make a straight path you're supposed to go through.
Well, that way
and
events
keep it open a
they-
little bit, obviously.
like
but
the events that happen in the campaign can like the maps can change per se,
Yeah,
based
like
on the
just-
events that happen.
Right, or like maybe there's like one part of the campaign where you're surrounded by fire and you have like a straight line basically to run through.
I mean,
Um,
horse riding, maybe a horse riding section.
Yeah, I think if they
Something
added
like
horse
cowboy.
riding, the maps would have to be a lot bigger though, because obviously that would speed up your movement
I
quite
was
a
saying
bit.
more like in regards to the linear section, like kind of what you're talking about. Like
Yeah,
it's just a small section, and then it kind of leads you to like another
yeah,
campaign, or
they
not
would-
campaign, a compound.
yeah, and definitely chapters. It would have to be in chapters, different hunters, and maybe each chapter, different hunters interact with other ones, and they give their
Dude,
backstory. That way, you're not playing as all the hunters too, because that would just take too long. But
Yeah.
Imagine the like crazy shit you could do if it was like witnessing the creation of each of the bosses.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
like some of the set pieces that they have, and certain hunters
yeah,
die.
they would be a
in
lot.
certain-
They'd be a
some-
lot
some of the
harder to
scenarios.
fight. You'd actually have to go
So-
around the compound and find more weapons because you're just out of ammo, but the boss is still like alive. Like they would make the bosses have to make
Have
the
you
bosses
guys
way harder.
Seen the opening to Battlefield 1? Like
I don't
Yes.
think I have.
So
Yeah, I
it's
have.
basically you play as like a someone in the military, and then that person dies, and then it shows from this date to this date, and then it moves over to another person, and then they die, and
Right.
it's a cool aspect that could be incorporated
Yeah.
into something like this as well.
Well, it's funny because I don't think the date stuff would really like I understand what you're trying to say, but the date stuff obviously wouldn't necessarily work for Hunt because
Not
all of these
necessarily,
events
no.
take place within 1 year. So
Yeah, not necessarily the date stuff, but like how it goes from this
Right,
hunter
from
or
person to
this-
person,
This
yeah.
person dies, and then it kind of like shows in, and this would be like one of those set pieces that they would have where you're just kind of going through things because the bayou is basically relentless.
Yeah, and then
that's
they could
kind of what it is.
actually tell their story. They could add the actual villain. Like we can finally get the pieces of the puzzle.
And we
um,
don't have to like actually finish the story.
Yeah,
Like we can, like with the chapters, you're just finishing people's stories, and then you get to a point that's satisfying, but it
to
can
where
still
it leads
continue
into right.
in
It leads into the
multiplayer
rest
maybe,
of Hunt multiplayer.
but it's
yeah.
not like a cliffhanger necessarily, but it has
It's a lore
stopping
breakdown, yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a good
So,
idea. It's
That's what I
definitely
brought
would.
to the table.
It definitely. I think it would take a lot, and I mean a lot of resources diverted to it. I don't
Yeah,
think
and
that's
that's why I
anything that
said
will ever be in the
Funds
cards.
and money
Yeah.
were not a part of it.
Yeah,
And because like I think there are plenty of people, as we know, are interested in lore as well, but there are plenty that just want a good shooter and good
Yeah,
gameplay
of course.
and stuff. So
and there's
this
nothing
was
wrong
like,
with that either. Yeah.
yeah, and like if they're a AAA studio type thing in regards to like Call of Duty and stuff like that, where they created their games and those have campaigns, kind of
Yeah.
similar to that, but with Hunt Showdown's flair. That's all.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, in a world where they had unlimited funds and unlimited everything, they would have movies, they would have TV shows, they would, like
R.I.P.
on top
Hunt
of this
TV
game.
show.
Yeah, I think they would definitely, at the very least, revive their TV show and actually get it finished, put all the way through, get it locked down for however many seasons they want to tell the story, and yeah. So, but
Sure.
but that's fun. I would love a Hunt Showdown based campaign. That would be so fun.
This is one of the few games that could pull it off if they could do it right. I
Yeah.
will 100% say that.
Yeah, because it has one of the most interesting lores in a game that like Dark Souls or Elden Ring, they don't really tell it, you know. So like, but it's
Yeah,
very
it's up
interesting.
for you to figure out.
Yeah, but I guess that's part of the charm, maybe. But I would like it to be in a more narrative, with a narrative structure. I think that would be nice for Hunt specifically.
Yeah. Well, that's why we rely on that guy that smokes a lot of cigarettes to tell the story for us. Thanks, Hazmat.
Yeah. Then his channel would die, though. His channel would die. Oh man, just kidding.
No.
It wouldn't
Well,
die.
what he needs to do is talk about that one guy that has sexual
No!
relations.
No, not with the
No!
moon. Not the guy with the moon.
Wait, guys,
Oh.
Tommy Moondick, shot.
Ain't fucking doing it. And Rat desperately can't. Okay, so boys, besides talking about dumb shit, anybody got a final thought?
Aside from talking about Tommy Moondick and his fucking Riz that is out of this world.
He's using words like Riz. We need to close this gate fast.
Yeah, we do, guys.
Time
What's-
to close off the bayou, y'all.
All right. Well, are you sure, boys, that there are absolutely no final thoughts here? Nothing left in your brains? Nothing of
There's
the
a lot
sort?
left in my brain, but I don't think it's appropriate.
Well, it's
Yeah.
probably about to fucking spill out at this fucking rate.
Well,
I've got one. If Desalle comes back, we shall unite in the bayou once again. If it doesn't,
Well,
we shall cry in the
rocks.
bayou once again.
in the rocks, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, since we're at that point and we have so many wonderful honorary hunters that we'd like to thank, I'm going to go ahead and thank them. A cunning
Yeah.
rogue. What?
I'm gonna kiss them all on the mouth.
Fucking disgusting. Do it anyway.
What the hell is the mouth? What? That's not
On
what
the
mouths are
mouth.
for. That's weird,
On,
bro.
Oh my
on,
god, guys, let's thank
on the
our
mouth.
freaking honorary hunters.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. A cunning rogue. You get double, boy. Big Monkey
Oh.
CNC. Tommy Roy. Cube. Disfigured, our brand new one. Drake.
Out.
Element. Glonky Pete. Gumbo John. Hans. Hazmat. Jay Tizzle. Curzair. Kit. Chris. Kugisaki. Mama Bear. Mimic. Our Father Gray. Penguin. Presgraves. Make up your fucking mind what your name is.
Junior.
No, that's not. That one's not Junior. That
Oh,
that
it's-
is.
okay. I just
That
assumed
was
it was.
That was Dr. Soda. He keeps changing his name
That's right. Oh my god.
because it used to be Prez is Dead, Prez Graves, Sway, and Warfinger. And
Mouth
you guys,
kisses for all of you.
disregard. Wow, it's weird for the drunk guy to tell another drunk guy to fucking calm down. But you guys are all amazing. I absolutely love you all. Sleepy and Kaiser, love you all. Let Rat get sober before he tells you how he feels again.
I'm
And
gonna
I
mouth
wanna-
kiss you, and whether you want it or not.
holy fuck. I want to thank you all so much for listening to this episode. And as always,
Stay hunting.
stay hunting, everyone.
Hey, hunting.
Live to fuck the moon another day.
Richard, give us a
No.
proper outro.
If you want to join me in the bayou at Desalle, make sure to bring double chukanu and we can go commit some bayou madness.
Yeah.
Bayou
I thought you were gonna make it a
terrorism.
rhyme.
Fuck yeah.
I thought you were gonna make a rhyme like we're gonna use the chukanu and everything's gonna go boom or something. I don't know.
We're going to
Boom,
use the
boom.
chukanu and we're going to go cuckoo
We're gonna-
cuckoo.
We're gonna chook 'em and fook 'em.
Holy fuck.
Oh my
Good night,
God.
everyone.
That's what it's gonna
It's
feel
good.
like. Stay hunting.